What's up, YouTube? This is Hector.
This is Drew.
And we're from Not2Nerdy Entertainment. So this is our second podcast.
Yeah, man.
Wow, I mean, after the first, try to pop that internet cherry over there.
Definitely.
No, but let's go straight into the games. But actually, let's talk about something that we just did, our little project that we started on. We started our website. And Drew was the one that pretty much worked on the website. I helped add a couple of things, but he was the one that started the whole thing, and he focuses on it.
Definitely a couple of long nights staying up putting this website together, but we're pretty glad what we got.
You want to tell us
so far
the website name real quick?
Yeah, sure. It's www.not2nerdy.com. Basically, you can find all our Twitter, our Facebook. We also have our YouTube page on there as well. You can find us. But basically, this is where we're going to be posting all news for the video game industry. Also going to be doing our podcast, which we'll post on there. Our reviews for different games that we review. Walkthroughs that me and Hector are going to do. That we also post on the YouTube channel. And, basically that's, we're going to post all our content up for you. We're going to try to post daily, get everything out there, keep up on everything that's going on in the video game world, We definitely, want to be one of these sites, that, we keep consistent in what we're doing, We work really hard on the site, So for the site, Hector, what are you going to be working on in the upcoming weeks?
Well, I'm going to continue adding a little bit here and there for Modern Warfare 3, multiplayer, and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I've been consistently doing that every couple days, adding more arcade modes. I'm going to have to add multiplayer for Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But in upcoming days, I'm actually be taking a look at Zelda Skyward Sword. So that'll be a pretty long walkthrough, especially considering that I haven't played a Zelda game since Nintendo 64. I have no idea how to use a Wii remote too well.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty long too.
It's a long walkthrough, and on top of it, it's very tiresome because I heard everyone say you're gonna have to use the sword and you actually move your hands around, swing around.
You're gonna be dangling your arms for 50 hours.
Like they say, you can't just sit down and do the little tap. You have to seriously swing
very precise.
quick. Yeah. And I don't know, man. I mean, it'll be interesting. I'm going to have an open mind, though, so don't think that I'm like, oh, it's a Wii game, it's going to suck. No, I was always a Zelda fan from the start. I love Zelda. I still say Link to the Past is the best Zelda game. I don't care what says about, oh, what about when it moved to 64? No, Link to the Past was the best game, in my opinion, for Super Nintendo. And, I'm going to have an open mind, put the walkthrough up there, and from start to finish, do or die, however long it takes. It might take a while, but hopefully it doesn't take too long.
And also, you're working on Modern Warfare 3 review, as well as Uncharted as well.
Yeah, they're doing both the reviews on there. Uncharted 3 review, we got the Modern Warfare 3 review, and also the Ultimate Marvel MVC 3. I don't know if you see the whole theme here. But everything for this year is turning out to be continuations of games that already came out. So
it's definitely another sequel year with the end of a console cycle that's expected.
It's just the way it is. That's the way they do it. They just repeat games and try to keep adding on to the games.
Right. Well, I'm still working on my Skyrim review. I mean, that's a 100-hour game, so I got to put a lot of hours into that. So you should be looking for that within the month of December. I'll try to get out early December. Also, I'm going to start playing. We already started playing cooperatively a little bit of Rayman Origins. You look for that review for next week. I'm liking the game so far, but I'll leave that to the review.
Another thing upcoming weeks, though, that I'm trying to add to the website is we're trying to get forums posted on the website just so we can get people to sign up for pretty much game week. We're gonna have different games that we're gonna play. Maybe Modern Warfare 3, maybe a little bit Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. We're gonna get people to sign up, and we're gonna add people to friends list, and we're all gonna be playing each other online. And eventually, hopefully, it can lead up to maybe a tournament or something like that online. But we gotta get more subscribers and more views. And as soon as we get more subscribers, more views, we'll be doing that. You never know, prizes might come out of it. Who knows what's gonna happen? But it's definitely fun. I mean, have a game week once a week, and you get to meet new people online, and get to it's better than just playing random people online. You get to actually meet people and talk about meet other gamers and have fun with it.
Yeah, and hopefully we meet people that are not jerks.
Hopefully we do, because sometimes the jerks are kind of fun too. Haters are always welcome. Haters are welcome because haters give you a reason to try to do better. So haters are always welcome.
I got you, but hopefully keep the jerks away. I like nice people. But yeah, just check out the site not2nerdy.com. We post every day. Today's Black Friday. Make sure you check out those Steam and Amazon deals that I posted earlier. You get some pretty good deals. Dead Island, $20 today. Deus Ex, $25. That's well worth the money for those two games.
Those games are pretty good games.
They're pretty good games.
They're pretty good. So what are we gonna do in the future? You said for the website.
Also, we're gonna be posting like podcasts. Like I said, we're also gonna try to branch out the website and get the forums going, build a community for it. We're gonna try to work on a live page that we'll have. Maybe we could stream some of these tournaments that we're having coming up.
That would be fun.
That'd be great. We're just at this point we're just trying to build a community, out there, so they can interact with us. We interact with them.
We know there's true gamers out there. That's what we are. We don't care the type of game. We're gonna try everything. Even if we suck at it, can I tell you right now? The walkthroughs I did, you look at it, you'll be like, some parts I look great at, and then 2 seconds later, I'm the worst player in the world. That's who I am. I'm inconsistent. I'm trying to get a little bit better in games, but the thing is, number one thing, let's have fun. Let's just mix it up and play all different games.
Yeah. Speaking about fun, what games have we been playing this week?
The games that we've been doing this week. Let's say, like I said before, I was ready to do Modern Warfare 3. I was focusing on that game. Did a walkthrough. Did a whole single player campaign walkthrough. Did some multiplayer, which is the new thing that we had, multiplayer. And I did some different things like Kill Confirmed. I really like Kill Confirmed.
What is it about Kill Confirmed that stands out for you in terms of other modes?
The problem with Modern Warfare 3, compared to Battlefield 3, let's say. Battlefield 3, you see more people play as a team. You have to play as a team to win. That's just the way it is. You can't just, you have to spawn where your teammates are. You have to play as a team to win. Modern Warfare 3 never really did that. You could find a way to win on your own. You could work as a team too, but you could do whichever style you want. Now, the thing with Kill Confirmed is, yes, you could do the normal Modern Warfare 3 moves where you could just snipe people and get those kill streaks, like 20 kill streaks, but guess what?
So are you saying this is the anti-camp mode?
Yes.
That we're all been waiting for?
Yes, because the reason why, it's because no longer can you just sit down and kill people. Because yes, you'll be getting your points, you'll be ranking up yourself, but you're not going to win. You're going to lose the match.
And why is that?
You need to confirm every kill that you get. So that means once you kill someone, you or your teammate has to pick up the dog tag for it to count as points.
So you're telling me picking up the dog tag, you get more points than just killing someone.
So you get more points killing someone, but the point is you can rank up points by killing people as you're moving. Because the person that sits down and the person that just, camps out is not going to get as much points. You might, if everyone is dumb in the game, you might get more points. But the chances are it's not going to happen like that. Eventually you're going to get killed. And you could have been killing on the move, killing people on the move. The more you kill people on the move, you pick up dog tags on the way, you confirm your own kills, and you can also deny kills too that protect your teammates. Because if they get killed by someone else, you pick up the dog tags, it doesn't count as points for the other team. So you could, it adds more to the game. There's so much going on. It makes it so much fun. Like, I really think it's like on top of you worrying about other people, about what's going on, you also have to worry about, I got to pick up this dog tag. I got to do this, Yeah,
so would you say that's the must-play mode?
I think Kill Confirmed is the must-play mode. Yeah. And even if you do Ground War, where it's 18 players, 9-on-9, I suggest, if you see Kill Confirmed on there, try to vote for that, Kill Confirmed, or stuff like that. It's always fun to play those modes with that many people. Like, it's so much chaos going on. Like, you're over here trying to worry about dog tags and the helicopters up in the air killing people, and then you just see your eyes light up when you see 10 dog tags just lying there in the middle out on the field. You're like, okay, I know I'm going to die, but how many dog tags can I pick up before I die.
Right.
Because I get 50 points for each dog tag. I see 6 dog tags in the middle out in the open. I don't care. I'm going to pick up 6 of them and sacrifice myself.
Yeah, and I would imagine people use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people, that's another thing. It's strategy involved too. Because you can leave the dog tag there. You know that someone's going to try to deny the kill that you just had.
Right.
Leave the dog tag there. And try to snipe them or kill them right before they pick up the dog tag. Now you run over there and you get 2 dog tags. That's what I did. I love doing it. I love setting it up. The strategy. Do I leave that as like, a little trap, or do I actually risk my own life to go pick up the dog tag? You have to think more, which makes it a lot more fun doing that. So,
yeah, I definitely got to try that mode out. I got it the day it came out, but with all these games coming out, man, I really haven't had time, Skyrim and Saints Row have been really taking up a lot of my time. Assassin's Creed as well. And speaking of Assassin's Creed, you're going to be doing the review for Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
That's correct.
We do have. We're out of time right there. Okay. So pretty much we do. I did the Assassin's Creed review. We got Altair, Ezio, and
Desmond.
Desmond. Dude. I keep forgetting names. All the names, the pronouncing names. What do I have to say about this game?
Well, let's start off story. The story without getting at any spoilers.
I don't want to go into the whole story yet because I'm saving that for the review. I want to save that part for the review. But what I want to say, I'm just gonna go straight into comparing this to the last two games, Assassin's Creed. When Assassin's Creed first came out, I actually enjoyed it. I liked the original Assassin's Creed. It was just. The whole story is different. It felt different. The way you're moving, slow motion, the way you kill people is pretty cool. And then,
but mission variety.
Yeah.
Was that a problem for you? Because that totally made me put the game down.
It was like repetitive.
It was very repetitive.
It was repetitive throughout the game. Like it was like that. Brotherhood came along and added multiplayer. Okay, that was actually pretty fun, but at the same time. It was starting to get cheap because you'll be, for example, you're trying to go kill someone, right? You're on a mission to go kill someone, and someone jumps in front of you and kills them first, right? Yeah. You got no points. You got nothing. After all that, it's taking you a while to find that person. When you finally found that person, you got nothing for it, okay?
Yeah, my main problem with the multiplayer was, you're playing with a bunch of jerks out there. They don't know how to play the game. They don't realize it's a stealth game, and that the whole entire game is based on that cat and mouse game where, you're trying to pretend to be AI character to blend in and then get a sneak kill. And then you have these stupid people out here. They're jumping on roofs, flying around, running around. AI characters do not do this. So they're ruining the whole entire experience of the game. And, but the thing, like with most multiplayer games, if you get a good group going out there, you can find good people to play with. There's no multiplayer mode out there that's like that Assassin's Creed, and I really enjoyed it. So, speaking on that,
we'll continue with that. The Brotherhood, like that game when it came out, like the game itself, the story mode was actually entertaining. It felt like it was continuation part 1, and it's a better way of explaining. They did a better job with it, and I thought that was done. I thought the story was done with it. I know it left you where it wasn't done yet, but I felt like it could have ended there with that version of the story. Right. But then they come along with Revelation. Yeah. Now, you look at Revelation, you're thinking it's a completely different game. And as soon as I picked up the game, it felt like it was Brotherhood. It felt like the same game.
Even though it's a new city.
It felt like the same game, the same repetitiveness. And I understand they're into that philosophy, sort of like what Modern Warfare does, where if you're successful so far and everything's working for you, why change it? So like.
But why was it repetitive though? I mean, they did. Enter these new modes that we have. You got the hook blade.
Yeah, like the hook blade. Like that's what I'm saying. But here's the problem, right? Not one of those weapons that I use to kill anyone except hook blade. Hook blade is the only weapon that they add in this game. That is the only weapon you really use.
So you weren't using the new bomb crafting?
Most of the time you don't use it.
So you kind of feel like there was way too many options, and the options that you're used to, you kept using, right?
Well, it wasn't even that. It was like points where you came to it, you didn't need to use it. Like literally, there's no point where they're like, oh, for an enemy or something like that, you need to use this weapon. There's never something like most games when they give you all these weapons and options. There's a weakness to an enemy that you have to use this type of weapon.
Right.
They never, for any of the new weapons or anything, they didn't let you. They didn't pretty much force you to use it. You know, that was a huge problem for me. Like, if you put all these weapons in, you put all these things in, you gotta make them useful. You have to use it for a reason. Like for example, Batman, Arkham City, right?
Yeah.
They have all these gadgets, all these things, right? They had it for a reason because eventually you're going to need it for one point. You might not need it to the end of the story. You might not need it to a certain point, but they brought it there for a reason. You're going to need that. You're going to need those weapons for something.
Yeah, to me, it kind of feels like more like, you know, either a Metroid or a Zelda game where they give you these gadgets, but you need that to either unlock new areas or use it to solve puzzles. Whereas those type of elements, you can't find them in Assassin's Creed. It's more like you have all these different options that you can use. Whichever one is more effective for you, that's the one you can use. But at the same time, you know, it feels like the mission structure that they have, you know, basically it's kind of the same thing. You either tail someone or you assassinate them, right? And it really just comes down to, you know, the stealth areas where you just try to assassinate them, right? So you felt like you didn't need to use those. You could just continue with the same methods that you used in the previous games, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And that was a huge thing for me for the whole game. Another thing with the game, it just felt like the whole game like shouldn't even have titles. They should have just said part 1, part 2, part 3, because that's all it was. It was all parts of the game, okay? It's not like, oh, like, you know, you have Gears 1, Gears 2, Gears 3. You're talking about 3 of the same games. They're just split up into sections of the same story. I don't like that, because like that's why they should have just skipped that Revelations and went straight to Assassin's Creed 3.
But how about some of the new additions you had? You have, say, you have in Brotherhood, you can recruit assassins and use them with there. You know, I've heard that now you can go on missions with your assassins. Did you like that part of the game? That
made sense in the game. You know, that added more to the story. It felt like it was a purpose for you to recruit people. The purpose for getting people. There's a purpose. Before it wasn't a purpose. Now you have the reason for it. You need those.
You weren't just sending them off like with the pigeon.
You need it now. That's a difference. They found it, and they did improve on certain things that they had wrong with Brotherhood. Okay. Now, I'm going to jump to multiplayer for this, okay?
Okay, sure.
Multiplayer, pretty much the same thing. It's the same thing as Brotherhood. Like, the difference, though, one difference is a huge thing that we were talking about before Brotherhood, that Revelations fixed, is the fact that all these people that, you know, they don't know how to play, and they just randomly, they run full speed, jump over stuff, you lose points when you do stuff like that.
Oh, good.
Now you have to be, you don't get too much points. Sometimes you get 0 points. If you don't,
I like that. That's good.
Are not stealthy whatsoever, and you move too quickly, and they'll let you know why you didn't get points, or you don't get full points because you didn't do that. Another great thing that they added was if you worked your way up to the character, right, that you're looking for, then the mission to kill, and someone kills them right in front of you, right before you, you still get points. You don't get full points, but you get some points because you were close enough. You were there too. And that's a huge addition they did, because you felt like for another one, you spend like 3 minutes or 2 minutes looking for someone, and you finally got there, and someone killed in front of you, took all the points. Like, to me, it's like, it feel like you didn't get anything. I understand, like, yes, they got it first, but I feel like even other games, like Modern Warfare, anything, you get assist points. You get some sort of points for doing it. I mean, I understand, like, you know, it's not an assist, but in reality, you found a person, you're right there, and you can't control who kills it first. Like, at least give them some points, and that's what they did. And, you know, that was a good improvement. So the multiplayer, I think, was a huge improvement. They fixed up the things they needed to fix.
Right. How about they had a new mode in there? They added Capture the Flag. Did you get a chance to play that?
That I actually did not play Capture the Flag. And I was actually shocked, because that's the one thing I did not play Capture the Flag on that. But for what I heard from everyone else, that is a good mode. You know, it's pretty much the same strategy. That's the thing with the game. Like,
what I've heard from the Capture the Flag mode, though, is that the same type of things can go on, except that, you know, you can have that camping element, too. Like, say someone's running up and trying to capture the flag. capture in Assassin's Creed. There's not a certain skill level that you have to kill people. You hit a button, it kills them. So you could have people camping around the flag, and if you're not using teamwork to try to distract one person and then go pick up the flag, people just kill you and they keep coming. So that's what I heard one of the problems with. But I've also heard that it really works for the mode because the way the strategy is setting up where you sneak around and try to grab the flag. So I definitely that's one of the modes I'm excited for to play in the game in terms of multiplayer.
Overall, like if you're looking for improvement for Brotherhood, then Assassin's Creed is Revelations is a good improvement from Brotherhood. The only problem is I don't know. I feel like they could have put Brotherhood and Revelations together to make one good game, one story mode. Fix up the story and shorten it because it was repetitive, wasn't needed. It felt like they dragged on 2 different games just to make one. Yeah. They dragged on a story to make 2 games, and they should have just made one. Because it's pretty much ridiculous when they all said and done.
Yeah, so. I could definitely see that because it felt like the second one was the big improvement for the first one, and maybe we should have waited for the third one to be the other big improvement.
I just think that they should have. I don't know. I think it should have ended the story already and start a new story. I really think that with a game in that style, the way the game is played in a certain time era and the way it is, to keep dragging on to one story with the same characters, you have an opportunity. You have a format that's working. Yeah. Switch the story up, get a new time, and add something new. You added things to what you already had. And I just feel like it didn't work out too well. I'm not going to say it's a bad game because it's still a good game.
Oh, yeah. The amount of polish and the architecture and all that stuff in the game is amazing.
Yeah. I just think that since they put themselves in a higher position in Brotherhood, you're going to have to critique them better. And that's the reason why I'm looking at it. They put themselves to be an elite type of game. They're built up to be, so you got to... You
definitely have to criticize what they already have out there.
And they could have added more. They didn't live up to the hype that they did, but they did okay. But that's the thing, though. A game like that, you're not rooting for okay. You're rooting for greatness.
Right.
And they did not succeed in greatness, but they're just another good game for the year. And they,
So do you feel going forward there should be an annualized title or space it out?
I really think they should focus on a time era, and that's it. And just and finish that story, or they're gonna have it where they leave you in a cliffhanger. Fine, they attach the next story to it. But right now, for the way they did it, that time era is done. They gotta switch the story, and that's why there's gonna be another Assassin's Creed. We all know that it's gonna be for different characters.
And it's gonna be next year. Right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the reason why they're doing it. Having another game every year from Assassin's Creed is, they should have put those together, waited 2 years.
I personally think instead of doing Assassin's Creed 1.5 and so on, put it out as DLC.
Yeah.
Have a schedule, put it out as DLC. I'd rather do that than have a new one every year.
I think Revelations could have been a DLC.
I really do.
It's similar to it, similar graphics, a little bit better graphics, but it could have been a DLC.
Even though it's a new city, it kind of because what you're doing is similar.
Yeah, I think everyone would have paid $30 for the game. Put a DLC, $30 DLC, and you get a whole new story and all that stuff. Then fine, but they just continue to something that was already there. But let's move on to the next section. We're gonna talk about Saints Row. So this is your game right here. Why don't you tell us? You played it?
Yeah.
You said you said you liked it. You started to like this. So what happened? Do you still like it?
This game is just it's just an experience that it's just not out there.
Hold on, I have to have a Bud Light moment. Sorry.
Go ahead, have your Bud Light. This is perfect. That's a perfect beverage to have for this talk because this game is just pure fun, man. I really love this game, especially the custom. You can customize your own character. I picked a Latina woman.
Which 90% of people, they all created pretty hot women.
Game developers out there, guys want to play as girls, right? But not the ugly girls that you play in Skyrim and Mass Effect. I don't want to play those type of girls. I want to play a very curvaceous girl running around in heels.
I tell you that, as a person that knows what it's like to program and develop, you know how fucking hard it is to have a girl running around and her boobs, her tits are flying everywhere and shit.
Hey, Saints Row did excellent boob physics.
I'm just saying.
Excellent boob
physics. That's not the easiest thing. You gotta have the physics the right way, where it's bouncing at the right time, and it's not that easy. And like some people don't focus on that, you know. But
I understand people when it's focused on certain things, and certain things lack, and definitely, you know, in terms of this game, you know, my major gripes with it is the the amount of polish and the storytelling. And that's really because what they're trying to do, they're trying to go for that whole entire experience where, you know, it's just outrageous missions and, you know, crazy storytelling. I mean, for Christ's sake, you have a character who's dressed up like Magic Don Juan who talks with autotune the whole entire game. And, and you find this guy, he has a leather suit on, and then he's carrying you on his back like he's a horse carriage. And then you're shooting in the back, people chasing you. It's ridiculous. That's what I love about the game. I mean, what really, in my review that I did, you know, you can find on the site, Not2NerdyEnt.com, is, you know, I basically said that, you know, the mission variety in this game is, you know, basically what sets it apart from a game, you know, like Grand Theft Auto, you know? Because basically there's so many different types of missions that you can go through. You know, you have your escort missions. But the thing that they do different with escort missions is, you know, they throw in all these different types of elements that you won't see in a Grand Theft Auto game. Because Grand Theft Auto is trying to be a serious game. You know, they're trying to be a social commentary on the American dream and living in America. Saints Row doesn't care about any of that. They have an escort mission. You got a tiger in the back. The tiger's scratching you. You got to make sure the tiger doesn't kill you until you get to your, you know, destination. You know, and it just makes no sense, but it's just fun to play, you know? It reminded me of that scene in Talladega Nights where you had the tiger in the back. And it's basically the same type of concept, you know? They wanted to make sure that, you know, you're strong enough to fight, you know, the rival gang and the syndicate, you know? And it's just, you know, the game starts off, you're jumping off a plane, you're shooting people, you're trying to capture people.
It's a little bit where you show you run full speed and drop kick the windshield.
I mean, just in Grand Theft Auto, you know, you open the door, you punch the person. Not in Saints Row, you freaking jump, you do a drop kick through the freaking windshield and you take the car. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous the different types of missions that you do. You know, you got one mission, you're in a helicopter. You use a sniper rifle to protect one of your, you know, gang members. You know, your fellow gang members, you got a rocket launcher shooting. You know, you got your tank mayhem missions where you go through, you're just destroying the entire city. Oh, rack up 75,000 worth of damage. I mean, it's just ridiculous, the different types. And, you know, the cutscenes are hilarious. I mean, don't get me wrong, the story is really a throwaway. I mean, you could skip those cutscenes, get straight to the gameplay, and really not miss anything. I mean, I found it funny that they put moral choices in there.
How many people play those type of games for story anyway? It's more about it's more the mission story. It's because there's so much to do in between the missions. There's so much to do in between. You sort of slowly forget what the story is anyway. It's more about the gameplay. It's more about what you get to do in the game. So now, a quick question: who made that game? Like what for that?
Oh, it's Volition. Actually, they're the same developer that made Red Faction Armageddon earlier this year. And, you know, there was a big controversy because basically they wanted to use that game engine, you know, because Red Faction is known for destructibility. They kind of wanted to use that for Saints Row 3, and they decided not to go with that game engine. They wanted to do their own custom engine. And, you know, I'm kind of glad they made that choice because I felt like, you know, if they focus on that area, maybe some of the mission variety that they're trying to achieve wouldn't be met, you know, because really this game, you know, it does lack polish, you know, there's texture pops in, you know, some of the character models can be a little bit stiff.
Glitches.
And there's definitely glitches, you know. But, you know, you forgive that type of game when you have just this outrageous stuff going on, you know. It's got a very cartoony art style going on, you know. It's basically... you know, it's an open world game similar to GTA, but it's actually the opposite of what GTA is doing. You know, I noticed that Rockstar, they're really trying to go for that, they're trying to go for great storytelling, and really polished cities, and a high level of detail.
Realistic.
Yeah, and basically realistic. And Saints Row's going for that cartoony type of thing, and I really think that's they should focus on. It really makes sense for them.
Now, quick question though: Do you think there's any coincidence in how GTA 5 preview came around the release day of Saints Row?
Oh yeah, I think it's a very strategic move.
They did that. I felt like they did that on purpose. That they purposely released the footage so everyone will look at Saints Row and be like, I can slowly in their mind compare it and be like, wow, I can't believe Grand Theft Auto 5 looks like. I was shocked when I saw the preview.
Yeah, basically what they're saying is, that's the kids' game. If you want to be an adult, come play this game. You'll get a real experience out of it. And the thing is, I'm glad that both of these exist. Because you know what? I felt like the older Grand Theft Auto games, that's kind of what we bought them for when we were younger. We didn't buy them for the story and go through the missions. We bought them just, mess around in the city and blow stuff up and beat hookers with bats and stuff like that. And I mean, Saints Row basically is taking that same formula and taking it to the extreme. You freaking have a freaking bat with a big dildo on it that you hit people with. You have freaking wrestling moves where you come around and you suplex a guy and then you go do this. Like, it's just ridiculous. It makes absolutely no sense. But, you just smile because you're just like, this is great.
It has a fun factor in it.
It's just a fun game. But basically, the review is out. I gave it 80%. And basically the reasons I gave it is that, it doesn't have that polish that GTA has. I mean, I can't go without, saying that, this is inspired by the GTA series. It doesn't have polish, doesn't have the great storytelling that it has. But, it's a fun time, You rent this game, for a weekend and beat it, that would be a great weekend. I couldn't recommend it more, But as far as buying it, there's really not a lot of replay value. A lot of the side missions, they're really, you get introduced to the side missions and you only want to do them once, How many times can you pick up a hooker and drop her at a location? I mean, it gets old after the time.
Thing is, though, speaking of GTA right now, going back to that, is the one game, everyone knows Grand Theft Auto 4, people liked, that was, it got a 10. It got 10s, and the way it's made, it was pretty cool. Everything was good about it. But the one game people miss was San Andreas.
Yeah.
And this game, they didn't announce what city it is, but people, if you look online, if you look anywhere, they show the license plates. They zoomed in on the license plate and it says San Andreas.
Oh yeah,
There's also
that.
It shows that it is San Andreas, and that was the game that was just great. Like that's the one that was fun. That's the one you could buy houses. That's the one where you could build like gang. You can get a gang. You can go lift weights and stuff and get built.
The funny thing is, I feel like that's what Saints Row is going off. They have an upgrade system. You can buy property. You can have gangs and stuff like that. So they better bring that when GTA 5 comes. They better have an upgrade system.
What I'm saying.
They better have all that stuff. It better be expensive.
That's why I feel it was purpose.
Yeah.
It was on purpose when they purposely released that to be like, oh okay. You did this, great, that's child's play.
Yeah.
We're going to make it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, Rockstar does that. I feel like Rockstar is becoming, if not an elite,
they absolutely are elite.
They're the name, like Rockstar. They're everywhere. When I went to Comic-Con, PAX East, they're everywhere. That when you see Rockstar now, they're good. And, it just...
So speaking of Grand Theft Auto, what do you want to see in the next game? What's your biggest feature that you need to have in the next game?
First, I just wanted San Andreas. I wanted the feature to be similar to San Andreas. Like, you have to be able to buy any house. That was the biggest feature that everyone loved. You buy the houses. You can have your own mansion. You could be rich. You could do whatever the heck you want to do. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should have been.
Yeah.
And I just love that. You know what I mean?
For me, it's got to have, these RPG mechanics. You can upgrade your weapons, upgrade your strength, upgrade your health. All these different things. It has to have that level of depth to keep me playing. Also, maybe, do something revolutionary. A lot of games out there are doing some very creative things that, maybe we could do with the multiplayer. If you played, Demon Souls, there, basically you play that game and you can play cooperatively, but it's not the same type of drop-in, drop-out co-op that you have. you have it where people will be in the game world, but you won't know that they're in the game world. Maybe they can do something like that.
I think the way I looked at it, like the way Grand Theft Auto 4 was, right? It felt like their multiplayer was more like, I don't know, this is me, I'm just speculating here, that it felt like it was like a trial run. Like they're trying to learn how they can involve people in the multiplayer. They're just introducing themselves to multiplayer.
Yeah, and I think they're getting better at it. If you notice Red Dead, it kind of had that same type of multiplayer experience, but it had more of an open world experience where you can do different activities. Where I'm thinking, like, don't have two separate modes, have it intertwined where you have it as a multiplayer game. You know, don't make it an MMO per se, but, you know, kind of make it a single player MMO. But make it like a single player MMO. Because we do have MMOs out there that tried it, you know, APB, and they failed miserably for that same reason. Because, you know, what happens with an MMO is you lose some things. And, you know, I definitely don't want to lose the story. Because that's the main reason I go to those type of games. They just have great storytelling. Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto definitely has like really good storytelling. It's all about either gangs or mob. Like it's always something big that you feel like you lived through the whole story. You survived. You died. Whatever happened in the game, you lived through. Like,
and the character portrayal is very accurate. You know, the last one was an immigrant. You know. And it told that basically that immigrant story in New York, you know, and I really appreciated that, you know, because that's a real thing a lot of people go through. But, you know, it looks like this new story, it kind of looks like that kind of, you know, it's going for that Goodfellas type of vibe where, you know, this guy's a gangster and maybe he's trying to get out of the life, but he can't escape it, right?
Like you saw someone driving a car. It was a white guy.
Yeah.
So, but then there's another scene that was a black guy. So, like, I don't know, because, you know, San Andreas was, what's his name? What was his name? CJ.
Yeah.
Freaking, that was an awesome story. You know, CJ's the gang and all that. Like, I don't know what route they're going. And, like, it's funny because they purposely did that. You don't know what route they're going on, but they did purposely put the license plate and everything to people to be like, oh, that's what
the great thing about Rockstar, man, they're one of the developers out there that, you know, they try different things, you know. They had a black character. They had a Dominican character. Yeah. They had an East European character. They put themselves out there. A lot of developers won't do that. You know, they
don't want to hit that racial war and all that stuff.
Yeah, but they're brave. They're very brave to do that. And the thing is, they don't do anything that's very stereotypical. They really, you know, it may look stereotypical at the side, but when you get to learn these characters, you understand the reasons for them trying to do these different type of things. That's what I appreciate.
They said a message saying like, like for example, CJ. You know, he was black and he was in the gang in there, but you see why he was in the gang. You see why, and he tried to get out of it. He wasn't trying to be the bad guy. He was trying to get out of what he was doing. And
a lot of people go over that just because they figure it's a video game, but you know, they do put a lot of intelligent things into what they're doing. That's what I can appreciate.
So
but, I'm definitely looking for that game next year.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
So you know, speaking about games, you know, one of your favorite games out there, you know, you've been playing recently. Well, you put up the walkthrough for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I did. We're going to be talking about Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Okay, now I love fighting games. You know, like I've competed in fighting games a little bit, little mini tournaments and stuff like that. I went to Comic-Con, did a tournament there. I went to PAX East, did a tournament over there, and I love it, you know, like, I love games like this. I did Mortal Kombat, and the new Mortal Kombat, I'm really good at that, but Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I'm good with that, but I'm not good with all the characters. I'm good with the basic characters. But then Ultimate comes along, right? Ultimate brings a whole bunch of new characters, okay? You got characters like Strider. You got Firebrand. You got, wow, let's see who else. We got so many, the Raccoon. We got... There's so many East Side. Ghost Rider. I like Ghost Rider right there.
What do you think of Phoenix Wright?
Phoenix Wright. I'm going to jump straight to Phoenix Wright at that point. Phoenix Wright is a kooky character, okay? I
have evidence against that.
I just, I don't know how or why they put him in there. It's funny, though. Like, see, the thing with Marvel vs. Capcom, they throw in characters that are strong and characters that people like, but then they throw people that are fun and entertaining and are funny. And they got a couple characters like that. You know, the raccoon is also like that, dude. He throws. I showed it the whole time in my walkthrough. There's one part that I'm trying to show his special move where he throws out a giant spring. It's a loaded spring, right? So when you walk on top of it, it springs you up in the air and like takes like a big chunk of your life. The whole time I was trying to do it. I'm doing it like doing combination. I threw it out there, and one time I forgot who walked over it. He walked right over it, and somehow he blocked it, and he didn't do it. I'm like, damn it. I'm like, there's no way of doing it. Then finally, when I finally got that move, and it was against Viper, I flipped her ass over, dude, and like she seriously had a quarter of life left, maybe a little bit more than that. It took all her life, but a little line, dude, just by flipping her over, dude, and then I killed her the next hit. It was so entertaining, and it's funny because these characters are not serious characters. They're probably not characters that you can actually go and compete with, but it's just fun. It's entertaining. Now, you got other people. Oh, man, how am I going to forget? Virgil. Virgil is another character. This character is very similar to Dante. And obviously because, you know, he's same story as Dante. When, for what the hell is the game called?
Devil May Cry?
Yeah, Devil May Cry. The same story. So
it's not Nero. This is a different character.
Virgil. Yeah, Virgil has the same moves, everything like Dante. It's very similar. And he's really good. And I think that's a character I might get into. I also like Hawkeye. Hawkeye is another character that's pretty damn good. Like there's certain moves, he's pretty strong, and his I think his hyper combo, his level 3 hyper combo is pretty entertaining because he takes a huge chunk of life. But I think out of all of them, the strongest one, Virgil is strong, but Ghost Rider is a good addition. Right. People like Firebrand, but okay. When he was added to the game, he was another fun character, but he also it's just weird. His moves are weird. Like you have a basic combo, right? When you do light, middle, heavy, special to launch it up in the air. Then you jump up in the air and you do the same thing, light, middle, heavy, special. Yeah, that's a basic combo. And then you slam the back on the ground. That's a basic combo, okay? It's an 8-hit combo, okay? Very basic. For some reason, he's one of the few characters that combo does not work. Instead, he does light hit, middle, and then he falls. He falls on purpose on the ground. And as he's falling, he'll kick the person. And he'll make a sound effect like boing as soon as he falls. I'm just like, wait, what? And like,
so do you feel like that character is something that they need to fix in an upcoming patch? Is it unbalanced, or?
The funny thing is it's weird because he's also pretty strong, and like the stuff he throws files at you. He throws a magnifying glass. He throws evidence. He's like, I found evidence. There's more evidence, and he's he has an assistant that runs in and just starts like hitting people for him.
But is that a popular character that you find online that a lot of people are using to their advantage?
People are using it. I don't know if people use it as a joke or whatever because I feel like the certain moves that he has, it's like it's more like it's a funny, entertaining thing, and it's kind of funny.
But you don't think he would be a serious character that anyone who was, participating in a tournament would use?
I think that someone in the tournament, if they ever use it, they would be more using it for the purpose of, I'm going to beat you with this character, and I'm going to embarrass you with it. Like, if you lose to this character, I'm just going to show you how good I am. I'm going to beat you with this character, and you're going to look silly doing it. Like, that's what I think.
I mean, that's something, they have in those tournaments. Do they, certain characters that they feel are unbalanced, do they leave them out of the tournament? Or is that something that they would leave?
For example, when I was tournament before, Sentinel, when Sentinel first came out, Sentinel was the most overpowered character. There's combinations, took half your life. There's combinations when he did, if you had 3 meters, 3 bars, 3 levels, right? You do your basic combination and hyperdrive, you kick him up, you do the launcher, you slide kick and drop him up. You can get a huge chunk of his life, and then you put the hyper combo on him. The life is done. And here's the problem with Sentinel in the beginning. When you had X Factor, X Factor was on, which makes him even more powerful. And Sentinel with X Factor was automatic loss. If you got Sentinel with X Factor, and they get a combo on you, if they start the combo, you're finished. And here's the problem. People found ways to do the combo. And in between your combination, you switch the hyper, or you switch the X Factor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once you switch X Factor, you can continue your combo, start all over, and the person's dead. Then whoever came in was going to be dead too. Mm-hmm. And it was overpowered. So they had a patch to fix that.
Now, I've heard Magneto was, in the first game was a similar thing.
Was pretty overpowered.
Yeah.
Like, every character was overpowered. People found a way to do it. Wolverine had Wolverine and Akuma. Akuma, they both had like an endless loop. Mm-hmm. Okay, endless loop is another problem that they had before, and I'm sure people are going to find it. I found a loop, and if you see the walkthroughs, you'll see the loop that I found. Again, I'm going to work on this weekend to show you the loop. I already found one that I'm going to be using and spamming the crap out of until they fix it, just because it's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. But there's a loop, right, with Wolverine. You do a drill claw, and a drop kick, launch them up in the air, drill claw, drop kick, launch them in the air, and it's endless loop. And then when they land, you'll do Berserker Barrage, and you'll kill them. And it's just the way it is, endless loop. You do it over and over again. And whoever jumped in, you do the same thing over and over again. And people took advantage of it. Mm-hmm. When I was at PAX East, that was before the update. Okay? So the tournaments were using that to their advantage. They were over-abusing it. Yeah. So that's why they didn't allow Sentinel, but they didn't know. They didn't take consideration there's going to be an endless loop. So they didn't think, oh, people are going to know this. And they did. Yeah. Which is good, though. I mean, people that find glitches and stuff like that, spam it.
Part of the game, man.
I'm saying spam it for one reason. When you spam it, they're going to fix it. So by you doing it, they're going to fix it. You know, I know people hate people that spam and stuff like that, but to be honest with you, I'd rather them fix it. Because the more you spam, the more you use it, the quicker you're going to fix it. Because I hate that I'm going against someone and then, like, later on, and they beat me because of something, and no one's going to know about because no one else is doing it. You know what I mean?
I do feel Capcom does a good job of patching up the game and fixing those type of problems.
Capcom, they fix it up. Like, they fix it up. They fix the strength. They try to make it fair. Capcom does a real good job at that.
Now, on that note, they're good at patching up the game, but what they're also good at is putting a game out and then releasing a new version of it this quick.
That's what.
So what do you think about that in terms of value? And
okay, now the value of the game, yes, we got plenty of characters. Okay, but more characters than they mentioned. There's Iron Fist.
Cheaper if you were bought it as DLC, right?
Yeah. Now, it's definitely cheaper if you bought DLC. DLC is $5 a character. They might do a deal, but either way, it's only $40 a game. Okay, so. You're thinking, yes, $40 is a pretty good price, right? It is a good price. But then again, you look at it this way. The only thing that's changed in the game, there's certain levels they added, redone little levels, may look a little bit different. The layout for the character selection screen is different. It's all laid out differently.
Right.
When you're playing a game, the meters up top are differently. There's also a big flashing X. That was one of the problems they had in the original Marvel vs. Capcom was that you didn't know if you used X Factor yet. Sometimes you couldn't see it. Some people complain, oh, I didn't know I had X Factor. Oh, I didn't know I used it. Now, there's an X there. And when you're almost dead, that X, it's flashing. It's flashing very bright. It's flashing, like, ridiculously. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Now it's flashing ridiculously to let you know, yeah, you didn't use X Factor. You better use it right now. Okay? And that's what it does. That's exactly what it does. It lets you know what's going on and you use it. And also, the meters also change. So it's only one character at a time showing. So then the character is shown, once you switch characters, the meter switches as well. So those are good additions to it.
So they listened to the community.
They did.
And they added those additions that were needed, But you still feel at that point, is this worth it? Or?
At the same time, it is worth it. But at the same time, it's worth it by a little bit, though. I'm going to say why. Because at the same time, this is stuff they should have did from the start.
Gotcha.
And if not, this should be a download update. Patch. This should be an update. Like the little menu screen, all that stuff, it's an update. That's a free update. That should be a free update that they should do. That's on them. They should have did it from the start. The characters and stuff, I understand. You didn't want to do DLC. They would have made more money doing DLC. They didn't choose to do that. Fine. But
at the same time, I'm not the big guy, going out for the big guy saying Capcom, but at the same time, right? They're gonna release this new game, right? They're just gonna have all the new characters in it. Everyone who bought the original game, they're gonna buy this game, right? Why wouldn't they, right? The hardcore is gonna buy this game. In the end, it's gonna be cheaper for them, so why not? It's a win-win, right?
Well, here's the problem with that. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you why it's not a win-win. For example, so obviously the first game's worthless, right? No one's gonna be playing that. No one's gonna be playing at all. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna trade this in the Best Buy. Guess I'm not Best Buy, GameStop, Best Buy, whatever you choose. I traded in GameStop. Guess how much I got for the game? A $60 game. Guess how much I got for the game? $7.50.
$30,
$7. I have the rewards. Okay, I have the what is it called? The power up.
Yeah.
Okay, I got $7.50 for that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's with the 10%.
Yeah.
Okay, for a game that was not released too long ago. Okay, I got that for that game, and to get the new version of the same game with just more characters on it. Yes, they did the character they mentioned, Iron Fist. They got Nova. They got all these characters that are fun characters and a good addition. But at the same time, the game is the same. The moves are pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
I get where you're coming from. You know, I'm not a fighting game guy, but at the same time, I kind of feel like, hey, Street Fighter is still Street Fighter with it. Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 4. Hey, they updated graphics. New characters, but and when it comes to, right, it's new characters, right? Mm-hmm. You get new characters that warrants the experience. The $40.
I don't know, because I feel like at the same time, like the way that they release the game,
it's just too soon.
The time limit
right?
they release the game. Yeah. If you release a game within a year, mm-hmm. that's pretty much an update for another game, mm-hmm. right? To me, it makes me feel like, you know how long it took them to do the characters, the new characters, and all that stuff? It took them that whole time. So this leads me to believe that they had this planned out, that they're going to release this version of the game first to make people buy the next version on purpose. Not that they're fixing it.
And why would that be? Because it's still within that year for their financials.
Right?
Their financial review. So, but, I kind of... Do you feel... Street Fighter was a lot from Street Fighter. The Super Street Fighter was a long enough window. Like, would you be satisfied with that type of window?
That
was about a year, I would say. Yeah. So you saying like a year is good enough.
Capcom, it always does a year. Capcom always does a year.
But this wasn't a year. Right?
Yeah, and it's just to me it just feel like just the way it's released, because like the way they released it was, okay, we sold this to them. Now we're gonna release. That's like seriously, that's like if every single year, there's a new iPhone. For people, iPhone fans out there, oh, I got an iPhone. Oh, next year I got another iPhone. Why would you buy the iPhone? Would you wait every 2 years? Wouldn't you wait every 3 years? Are you gonna buy a new iPhone every single year?
Does everyone wait every year for Call of Duty?
Huh? No,
that's my thing. You know?
But Call of Duty is different. It's every 2 years if you really think about it, because it's different companies.
But is it the game drastically that different? Hey, new maps, new campaign.
Different companies, though. That's the thing. Some people like one company just for Nazi zombies. That's the thing. Some people like the zombies only. Some people like to actually...
I agree. But for me, I think most people don't even know. They don't know that they're different developers. Yeah. But, that's another story. But with all that said, you still... I
still say upgrade. I mean, I say if you're a fighting fan and you like fighting games, you have to. That's not even about...
Yeah, there isn't. Because everyone's going to be playing this, right?
Yeah, just keep your other game. It's not about that. Everyone's playing this. You got to play. I mean, just the way it is. But, I mean, I'm going to show you guys some moves and like upcoming videos, some mission modes, and try and complete it with the new characters and actually show you that I'm actually pretty decent at the game, and not show you the other videos that you see right now. You see highlights of it, but that's me button mashing. I can't even attempt to learn any of the characters' moves. I just went straight for it, ran out there and try to see if they have similar moves, and I try to compare them to another character, and use the moves that the other character had. And sometimes some characters like Virgil, like I said, is like Dante, and I felt right at home, and I was tearing people up with that.
Yeah, that's what I think really adds to the value of a fighting game. Is just the amount of characters, and you can play through with each different character, learn their different moves, and all those different things. I think it's kind of a different experience than other types of games where they tack it on. But I could definitely see where you're coming from. It's a little too soon.
So I have a challenge coming up soon. I gotta get this guy on board with fighting games, because eventually I'm gonna let him do. I'm gonna have to get a new arcade stick, so I'm doing that within the next couple of weeks. So once I get another arcade stick, you can have my, use my old one. I have it. I don't know about that, but use my old one.
I'm definitely curious. I played fighting games growing up in the arcade a little bit. I toured around with it. I got the new Street Fighter. I tried it out. Maybe it's just that I haven't had the time to try to learn the moves and understand the complexity of it. There's a lot of strategy in it. Right?
So much strategy. It's complex. You have to learn combos, and the thing is, not everyone does it. There's some people that win in tournaments with controllers, but I think majority of people, especially for a fast-paced game like this, Marvel is fast. If you've never seen it, it's fast. You switch out. It happens so quickly, and you need, in my opinion, you need arcade stick.
Yeah, that might be.
These games were made in arcade. Right? Before all these consoles came out, you have to go to arcade and you have to learn to play. That's how I did. I went to arcade, learned how to play, and guess what? If you lost, you have to wait in line again, and then you have to put your quarters up. No, that's why you got better at the games. That's how you do it. That's the way it is.
Where this has changed now. Everyone plays online in the comfort of their home. So that's kind of the thing. I know you probably missed that, right?
Yeah, because online it's not the same as in person. Online, first of all, lags, and you have to account for lagging, because when you're playing a fighting game and doing combinations, you're gonna drop the combination because it's lagging online.
Yeah, you're not gonna do it. To me, I would compare that. I'm an FPS guy. I would kind of compare that to how you used to play GoldenEye back in the day. Halo, with System Link. Everyone playing locally. I had a much better time playing it locally with my buddies, than playing it online. Even though online is a lot more, convenient for people nowadays, because you'll have a buddy living somewhere else. You want to hop on a game with them, but you lose that experience. And I feel fighting games is probably the same type of thing.
Yeah, fighting game is always fun. Sometimes you could get bored after a while playing it, but overall, if it's a setting where it's a bunch of friends, you get a group of friends and you rotate in and stuff like that, it could be a really fun experience. So I definitely say Ultimate, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I would definitely buy that. If not, just rent it to see what it's like first, and I guarantee once you rent it, you're probably going to end up buying it.
Yeah. I'll probably say if you have the first one, you're good.
Yeah.
You have to buy it.
Oh, if you have the first one, it's
pretty
ready.
Much,
you already have it. I don't even have to say that. I know you have it already. But pretty much we're almost out of time right now, so we just got to recap. I want you to recap real quick what we're going to go over in the upcoming weeks. You said for the upcoming podcast.
Upcoming podcast, if most of you don't know, the Video Game Awards are going to be December 10th. So we're going to try to have a podcast, either that day after we watch the show or the day after. We're just going to discuss the trailers that are coming out. I'm very excited. They're going to actually unveil a new BioWare game, a new IP. I want to see what's going on there. And, of course, we're going to discuss, the Game of the Awards, who won this different category and so forth. So, look out for that's going to be our next podcast. Also, we're going to be doing a top 5 podcast of our games of the year. There's a lot of great games that came up this year. So, we're going to take, a good chunk of time and try to figure out what our top 5 for each one of us. And then early next year, we're going to do a podcast, and we're going to discuss what's our most anticipated games that we have for 2012. There's a lot of good games coming out. I know what mine are. Hope you know what yours are. So that's basically what we're going to look at for the next couple of podcasts that we're doing.
Just to review real quick, be on the lookout for Zelda. That's going to be a walkthrough coming up, plus more little Modern Warfare 3, plus more Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You're getting a lot of footage and walkthroughs on YouTube. Don't worry about that. But, what you got to do, as a viewer, you got to go onto our website. From the website, you can go onto Twitter, add us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter. You can also go on Facebook. But just to let you know, everything on Twitter is going to be there. We're going to link everything there, so all the videos and everything in there. We'll let you know when we do post something new up. Also, go on Facebook, like us on Facebook. Once you're done with that, you gotta go on YouTube and subscribe to us.
Absolutely.
So that's the way it is. You subscribe to us, and definitely subscribe to us for a reason. We're eventually gonna have tournaments. We're eventually gonna have game week, and every week we're gonna have a new game that we're all gonna play, and we're all gonna get like the whole community involved. So that's our target right now. This is for true gamers. I know you're a true gamer. That's why you're watching us. So this is Hector once again. This is Drew from Not2Nerdy Entertainment, and that's your second podcast. So I guess we'll see you in podcast number 3.
All right.
See